Okay. So, if I edit it, sorry, I'm gonna let the beeps go away first because I don't have my seatbelt on yet. Hello.
Hello, hello. How's it going?
It's going. Let me shake your other hand. I coughed into this hand.
I'm very proud of you.
Are you?
Please don't put me down. Because you have lost, on my records, 18 pounds in less than we saw each other. That's awesome.
Oh, okay.
Your BMI went from.
I'm still working on it, so.
Please do. BMI went from. 42.3 to. Oh, you way from 251 to 243.
Oh, since the last time I was here?
Wait, that's not 18 pounds. That's actually. It's about 8 pounds.
Yeah, since the last time I was here.
The last time, yes.
Okay.
8 pounds. I would like to see that BMI below 40.
Yes, that's my own personal goal as well. That will happen very soon.
I mean, if you could lose.
I'm less than 10 pounds there to get there. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah. Because I mean, usually in order to start the process of IVF, patients are placed on birth control pills for a few weeks. But I don't want to start birth control pills until I see the weight 40 or below. So I need to see that weight lower. Unless you want to have a retrieval on the local anesthesia, which is not a very pleasant experience.
I know, but in the essence of time. So this is what I want. Okay, I'll tell you what I want.
Just remember, before you say what you want, this is not Burger King or McDonald's. You go over there to what you want.
No. I know
You may want something, but it may not be feasible.
No, I'm just telling you what this is what I'm thinking because I have my own personal goal as well. Okay, so I have some concerns too. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
So my pre-auth, it says that they'll cover transfer, but it doesn't say frozen, fresh, or whatever. But at this point, I'm thinking that I'd want to do PGS testing anyway.
Okay.
So I'm not.
For insurance?
I'm sure it won't be. I was thinking maybe it's worth, but since my pre-auth expires in a few days, we have to resubmit anyway. Is it worth throwing it on there just to see? I mean, I am advanced maternal age, maybe, who knows? But I know most insurances don't cover it.
From dealing with all insurances, they don't
don't
cover
cover
PGS because they consider that experimental, they call it. And the
Or making designer babies, is that what it is?
yeah,
That's where it comes from there.
The payment, the cost of that particular technology is about $5,000. Mm-hmm. So I can tell you it's not going to be covered.
That's fine.
Well,
what are your thoughts on PGS testing?
I think it's a very good idea. It actually increases the chances of having a normal baby, number one, mm-hmm. and number two, to be able to conceive a pregnancy. In other words, to stick to the uterus. I'm trying to see the letter I have from insurance. So I think it's definitely a good idea. If people could afford it, I would say yes.
Yeah. So, given that I want to do that anyway, I'm not looking at a fresh transfer.
Right.
Right. So.
What else is in your wish list?
ICSI. So my pre-auth says they'll cover 10 embryos. Provided I get more than 10 embryos, are we taking the rest of my embryos and throwing them in a dish
No.
with the rest of the sperm? What's going on there?
Let's see. No, we would do ICSI on all of them.
So I gotta pay for the extras?
No.
Oh, because that says up to 10.
Okay. We don't usually, right, less than or equal to 10 all sites. So We would do all of them.
Okay.
Whatever you produce. It would, and we would do all of them that are good quality.
Right.
Because I mean, sometimes younger people have, I don't know, I think the most eggs I have being able to retrieve out of a person was like 30. But out of the 30, about half of them are immature and useless.
Yeah.
So, something that is mature and good quality, yes, we would exceal them. What else?
Okay. So there are multiple IVF protocols.
Yes.
Which one are you thinking?
Thinking about the, we call generation antagonist.
Antagonist, with or without microflare?
No, no.
See, I do my research.
Microflare is something,
No.
it's another one.
Mm-hmm.
It's antagonist.
Just antagonist.
I have another product that's a microflare.
Mm-hmm.
So,
What was I reading?
no, I'm glad you're doing your research. That's really good.
Yeah, because, you know, some are good for others. Because I noticed, like, the down regulation one,
Right.
which goes to do antagonists.
I think
Yeah. I'm sorry. That's the agonist or microdose lupron flare. Yeah. I don't. The two words are really close. So when I'm reading, my brain thinks they're the same thing. Okay.
Pretty much there are different concentrations of the luprolide that we use, depending on which one. But I'm not going to use any more of those because
Antagonist.
we
So
could
with the
use-
lupron.
we could use. I mean, you have a good ovarian reserve. I don't think we need to do the microdose flare. So I think antagonist is better than the other one.
So with or without estrogen primer.
No
No estrogen primer. Okay, good.
Those are for low responders and people that have low ovarian reserve, which is not your case.
Okay. But anyway, I'll be back here on the 11th. So provided that I am under 40, because I could very well be close to that by then.
I don't want you close. I want you to be below it.
Okay, I just gotta hit
39.9 at
236.
least.
I know. I gotta hit 236. 236, and I'm like 8 pounds from that.
Okay.
Okay, so I do also want you to know that I'm working with my primary care physician on my blood pressure. So he has me on methyl-dopa right now.
Okay.
So
That's good.
it seems to be working, but he might need to adjust the dosage. I don't know.
How
I don't know
much
that the
you taking right
dosage is 250 once a day right now. I don't know that it's working
50
enough.
twice a day.
Once a day right
Once
now.
a day?
Once a day right now.
Okay, very low dose.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he needs to up the dose a little bit. It's working, but I don't think it's working well enough yet. But I mean, I've only been on it 2.5 weeks. So I know it's slow acting, could take a while to really kick in. But I don't know. My lower number seems to be adjusting to it. That upper number is not so great. So I don't
What
know.
kind of figures? Your blood pressure is around today.
That upper number was not so great, but that's not what it is in the morning because I check it myself in the morning. In the morning, I'm usually around 135, that upper number, 135, or sometimes 144 or something like that. But the lower number is definitely better, but I don't know. I think he needs to adjust the dosage a little bit, but I'm trying to give it some time before I go back to him and say, yeah, I don't think this is working, doc. So what you want me to do now? So anyway, so that and we're working also on my sugars because apparently I'm like really close to diabetic. Like staring at it.
Sure.
So
what is he doing?
he just took my blood work again. He's talking about metformin, but I'm also working with the acupuncturist on what I can do naturally to sort of bring this down as well. So right now I'm on a supplement. It seems to be working well diet-wise. It's helping the weight fall off a lot faster as well too. So I guess that's working, but we don't know until we take more blood work, right? So diet and this supplement that she's helping, because I know metformin has some really bad side effects. It's supposed to do the same things. It's got the chromium, the resveratrol, and one other thing in it that I can't think of right now. They're supposed to work just like metformin, and it seems to be good.
That's a big proven.
Well, I mean, it's got a lot of great reviews. People said the doctors have suggested it for them, and it's done great things for them. But it's worth a try.
It's worth a try if you're not trying to become pregnant. If you're trying to become pregnant, that sure has to be well regulated.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it can cause trouble to the baby as well.
Yeah. Well, he basically
bottom line is, listen to me. I'm looking for your safety and the baby's safety. We need to have this regulated before we start. You don't have the time to really try other things or whatever. Metformin is definitely very good medication that could be even taken throughout the pregnancy. That's my point.
Well, he said, well, he basically said, well, you're going to be on insulin once you get pregnant. That's like...
Most likely.
And I'm fine with that. The only thing is, I'm sensitive to medicines in general. And running to the bathroom is just going to make me miserable. Completely miserable.
Well, some people use metformin too.
No, I know, because it's the insulin regulation. I don't even know. I'm not a sugar person, so I don't even know where it's coming from.
Our weight causes insulin resistance. That's what the problem is here. It has not. I mean, diet has something to do with it, but the main problem here has to do with the weight. That's what the problem is. I'm glad that you brought it up because I was gonna go in that direction. Based on your hemoglobin A1C, I think that you should be on metformin diet therapy. That's my recommendation. What we can do is maybe try as you're doing with the Aldomet once a day and see how you feel on it. The same way you do with the Aldomet, you take it once a day. You take the metformin once a day and see how you feel it. Start off and see. You know when people are complying with the doctor's treatments, make things a lot easier for both the patient and the doctor.
No, it's not that I'm trying to be.
Because I don't want to cause trouble.
No, I know. And
I don't want to have a baby that loses their mother.
No, I know, and I'm not trying to be non-compliant either. But I just think that sometimes prescription drugs. This is my feeling on prescription drugs is that a lot of times they're just chemically enhanced versions of the homeopathic stuff that I could be taking as well. So right now, this seems to be working for me. Now, I've been using it for the past couple of weeks now. So maybe if we can see if it's working, another blood test or something, that's all that takes.
When is that blood test happening?
I just had one a couple weeks ago. So, and I started this kind of like before those results came back. It was like after his appointment, which was like 2.5 weeks ago. So, then that's pretty much when I got started on this stuff like 2 weeks ago. So I think it's only been a couple of weeks, but we can take another blood test in 2 weeks or a month. I don't know if that's enough time for the A1C to come down or not.
No, I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. The same way you're a human being and you're entitled to your opinions, I'm a human being too. I'm entitled to my opinions. And if I think something is not going to be safe for you or the baby, I'm not going to do it. Okay? We don't agree on that?
That's fine.
Because I really want you to have a healthy, happy pregnancy.
I get that. But the baby doesn't come in until after transfer.
No. But we have to prepare for that time.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. So during this time... We cannot
just start worrying about this after the transfer.
No. Not after the transfer. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we've got time before I will do a transfer. So I'm not looking to get pregnant in the next month or even the next 2 months, right? It'd be at least 3 months, right? So we have time to see if what I'm doing is working, right? I mean, I don't want to hold up a retrieval because my eggs are just shriveling up by the moment, right? So,
no, they're not.
So I know you would say that.
1 or 2 months is going to cause any difference.
Like every second, they're just shriveling up. But no, my family has, like, my grandmother got pregnant at 54, believe it or not. I'm not looking forward to having a period at 54, I'm just saying. But I'm just saying we've got some time to see. I want to at least see if I can avoid side effects of that medicine and still get the same result with diet, exercise, and loss of weight. The weight is obviously coming down. I felt like I was working really hard and it wasn't really moving. My insulin resistance probably had a lot to do with that. And so now that I'm on this supplement that's supposed to be aiding in that, the weight is moving like it hasn't been moving before. So to me, that says something is working in my body.
I'm not denying that fact.
So, and I don't have the side effects from that.
For them to work to the point that I would like to see, it's going to take some time.
I know it'll take some time. So let's just say if after this month and my A1C is not improving, then I will consider. Will go with the metformin. So just give me a chance to work on it without being miserable.
I thought we were talking about doing retrievals like beginning of May or something like that.
Well, the retrieval will be May, but no transfer. I mean, I'm not getting pregnant in May.
Yeah, but the problem with insulin is hemoglobin A1C is that at that level you may not stimulate as good too because the insulin has something to do with the ovarian level. That's what the issue is. So it has to do. Remember, all this is hormonal.
Mm-hmm.
The ovaries produce the hormones, the pancreas produces the hormones, and all these hormones interact with each other. In my clinical experience, humble experience of 25 years dealing with people that are either obese or overweight, they don't respond as well as people that have normal weight. Mm-hmm. And that's a scientific fact. And I think I gave you some papers as well to show that. So, I mean, I would like to see first, what we want to see is the BMI lower. And when that happens, evidently the hemoglobin A1C should follow dropping to a safe level. All right, what else? Well, I'm glad the doctor is addressing the blood pressure and the blood sugars, yes. Because I mean, that's something that I was also going to discuss with you.
Well, I went on those things myself. I mean, I'm not unreasonable. Okay, so now my concerns.
Yes.
All right. So you've been my doctor a long time, and with any physician, you have to have some level of trust, right? And we're partners in this, are we not?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So please explain to me why I feel as if, and I'm not saying that this is what happened, but this is my perception of what happened, is that for some reason there was an intentional thing to not tell me that my pre-op came back approved when I was in here in February.
Okay.
Because when I called to make my appointment, I had no idea whether the pre-op had come back or not. I was told that the denial letter came back, which I now know came back a day after the approval, but then told that the approval had not come back, right? Now, in actuality, both had come back 3 days before I even called to make the appointment for February. This is before the saline sonogram and all of that. Then when I came in for that first appointment, this is the appointment before the saline sonogram, I saw a letter from the insurance in my chart, and I inquired about it and was told, oh, I don't know what that is, and it was closed. When I came in here and talked to you, I asked you specifically, do you know anything about the pre-op? And you said, no, I don't. I don't know anything about it. But you also didn't look through my chart to see if it was there either. Okay. So... But then
about your appointment from the 1st of February?
The 1st of February, yes. So I'm just in the moment, it's just okay, maybe it hasn't come back yet. But in hindsight and thinking about everything and then, you know, the scheduling of the saline sonogram and all of that, it made me start to think, well, maybe that pre-op really did come back. And so I checked on it and it had come back. It had come back days before I even made the appointment for February 1st. So
came where? Here?
It was sent. So I mean, I don't know when it got here, but when I called and made the appointment, she was aware of the denial. There were 2 letters that came a day apart. She was, Anise was aware of the denial letter of the freezing, right? But she didn't seem to be aware of the approval letter, which the approval letter would have come a day before the denial letter. So to me, that says, okay, well, you had to have both. If she knew about the denial, she had to know about the approval.
No, sorry, because you know how these insurance companies work. And they may send one first, and then they say the other one later. The one that the approval was
Well,
sent,
I mean, I don't know how you... I just know the dates that were on the
was
letter.
sent on the 24th, but I don't get it usually until 2 weeks after that. If you call the insurance, I mean, we have another patient that we're going to do surgery on, and want to have this letter, because with surgery. Well, they say, oh, you got to wait 10 to 14 days for it to arrive. And it's true, I mean, it takes that long. almost 2 weeks after.
Well, you're waiting for it to come in the mail? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, because I saw it online.
For United, because for example, for Cigna, I call and they just fax it over. For United, I said, no, you gotta wait for the letter. And that's a plain truth, because it just happened this week. I really want to have the approval, before surgery, like 2 or 3 days. I said, oh, you gotta wait on the mail. And it's true, it always comes in the mail.
Okay, well, it was available for me.
Okay. Yeah.
The day after they sent it online.
Right.
So if they're taking too long, you call me and I will print it out for you.
Okay. Now I know.
Okay, but I just thought it was suspicious that you didn't look at it.
How come you
at the time
beforehand? Did they send you an email?
I didn't know beforehand. That's the thing. So I came here for the appointment on the 1st. I still had no idea whether it had come back or not. And I guess, I talked to a bunch of people about this process. People are interested in what's going on and this, that, and the other. And then, with everything going on with my weight and stuff maybe being pushed back and this being, whatever and everything going on, it's just kind of like the more I explained it to people, the more some of the pieces were like, you know what? I think that approval did come back. I don't know. So I went and I looked for it online in United Healthcare on their own site. And I could see in my document section, and they were just links for me to click on, and I could see the letters. They mailed me nothing. I never got anything in the mail. I didn't get an email saying that it was there and ready or anything like that. I just went and looked. And by that time, what was the 1st? This was like Saturday after that appointment that I saw it. And they were sitting there with a date of, I think, the 26th of January. And the actual letters had dates that were the days before the day that they were online. So I guess whatever day they generated the letters, the next day they were online for me.
Right.
So, but I don't know.
For some reason, we don't have that kind of access to the insurance information. I mean, we have access to check for benefits.
But don't you guys have a portal? There's a portal for pre-auths though, right? Because I ran into it online. There's like a doctor's portal.
Well, the problem is that many times they require records. And for that reason, we always use the fax to fax the records. Because we are paper records. We don't have electronic medical records or anything like that. So that's why, even though you could start the process there, it cannot be finished until we fax the other stuff.
Oh, I just thought you could I didn't know what you could do in the portal. I just thought maybe that's where all the information was, not all the information because I know you fax stuff, but maybe you could see like the status of the pre-auth or whatever. I don't know. I just found it funny that she seemed to know about the denial, but didn't seem to know anything about the approval.
And from the bottom of my heart, I'm telling you that I was aware of the denial of the freezing. But after that appointment, probably about 2 or 3 days after, we received that letter.
Okay.
And that's how we knew about the approval of the...
Okay, I just found it very suspicious because you didn't even look at the chart to say, oh, well, let me see if it was in here. You didn't do that. So I'm just like, well, did he do that intentionally? Because I just feel like, as my physician, we need to be partnered on this. I may not agree with everything you want to do. You probably, I'm sure you don't agree with everything I want to do, but we need to come to a consensus together. And I don't want to feel like there's some ulterior motive. You know what I'm saying? Where you're kind of wanting to do your thing and then I'm just supposed to just listen because I'm just not that patient. I think you know me better than that.
My ultimate ethical standard is to do whatever is best for the patient. That's what bottom line.
Okay. All right. Now my other concern is the changing in the guidelines on the BMI. So we've gone from 40 to 35 now back to 40. Now, here's my concern. If I were going to a clinic somewhere, right, and this is just some feedback just on my process in general here, is that if I were going to a clinic somewhere, they'd probably give me some book with a whole bunch of papers and all their guidelines and all of that. And BMI guidelines would probably be part of that, right? But at least I would know up front, okay? So we were talking about the whole 35 thing and then not being able to go under anesthesia and all that great stuff. And I'm just thinking, well, we've been talking about 40 since August. Where did this 35 come in all of a sudden? And I just feel like if 35 was it, then that should have been it from jump. And my biggest problem is just that, okay, if I come in here, and even with the IUIs, I had no guideline whatsoever on what's supposed to happen, what my expectation should be. And maybe it's just something weird, you put together some kind of pamphlet or flyer or whatever that you hand out to patients who start this process in general, where they understand what your expectations are, BMI included, all of that great stuff. Your blood pressure has to be this, your sugars have to be this, your BMI has to be this, and just so that it's up front, so it's like, okay, this is what it is, this is what I have to work to, and there isn't this sort of bouncing back and forth and trying to convince you that, okay, I'm fighting the clock here or whatever. Because I feel like you may have a guideline that maybe another doctor doesn't. Maybe, you have your standard, another doctor may have their standard. But also on the patient side of things, it's kind of like, okay, if you don't want to operate under these conditions, you're well within your right to say, I'm not going to do it. But as a patient, I need the opportunity to say, okay, well, maybe I'll find a doctor who will work with me while I have this, if that's what I really want to do. But for me, my problem is, don't tell me one thing, and then I get close to it, and all of a sudden, like, the deadline's here, and then I get this close, and all of a sudden the deadline's out here. That doesn't sit well with me. So the 40 to 35, and then you came back in here and said 40, and I'm just like, okay. Now we're back to 40, so now I can't scream at him about the 35 thing. But that's just a concern for me in general. Like, that kind of thing, it doesn't bode well for my stress either. And my blood pressure is stress sensitive, even though I don't feel particularly stressed. That's my body response. It's always been that way. So for me, it doesn't help the stress level, because it's like, okay, I thought I was trying to hit this mark, and then now I got to hit this other mark that's just like, it's going to take me another 4 or 6 months or whatever the case may be. So I just feel like, set the guideline up front. That way we know what it is. It doesn't change. This is what I'm going to work with, and I'm not going to work under any other circumstances. If it means somebody walks away because they're looking for somebody who may do it while they're a little bit less healthy, then I guess that's what it means. Because at the end of the day, people want what they want. But, you've been my doctor a long time. I'm not unreasonable. You know what I'm saying? I went to the primary care physician myself. It's not like they called me, and I hadn't seen him in 5 years. So, like, I knew these were problems. I wanted to get them addressed. So I'm not unreasonable. I hear what you're saying, but there are certain things I just want to avoid, like that metformin, you know what I'm saying? So, but I'm not completely unreasonable. So, I'll do what it takes to get it done. But it's just, I can't have okay, let's do this. Oh, well, yeah, I just need you to do this too. Put it all up front for me so I know what I'm working towards.
I think it's a well-taken point about setting expectations. Mm-hmm. I think so. The reason why I've been going back and forth with different BMIs is because that's not so much dictated by me. It's dictated by the anesthesiologist, pretty much. And then the anesthesiologist is saying that if we're going to do a retrieval in an outpatient facility where most of these things happen, the guidance is 35. Now, if we were going to the hospital, then they're more lenient to go up to maybe 39, 40, knowing that most likely that could preclude from you being successful. But as you're well saying, if we're doing PGS, the screening of the embryos, of course the transfer is going to happen immediately. So that's a good thing for the pregnancy part, and that will give you some time to lose whatever you need to lose and all that. I think that's another piece of information that I didn't know until today. So
I've been waffling on that, so it's just
things change a little bit as well. Because my only issue here is for you to be safe and to do the retrieval on the anesthesia if possible. Because it's an uncomfortable procedure. It's short.
I know.
But it's uncomfortable.
But I also have been doing some research on that as well. And there are other countries that don't put women under ever. So it's done. I mean,
believe me, this guy has done it.
Yeah, so it's definitely done. I mean, it's not common for women to go under in other countries. You know what I'm saying? So women are doing it all over the world. It's not a big deal. I'm sure I could do it. Do I want to? Yeah, I'd probably rather be asleep. But if I can't be asleep, then I can live with that too. So this is not going to deter me one way or the other. But, you know, like I said, I do have my own personal goal. The BMI under 40 was a personal goal for me to begin with. It was just that, because that was my suggestion. You know, I came in here and I said that to you when we first started talking about IVF. Well, what if I get my BMI under 40? Okay, all right. And then we were working towards that. And then all of a sudden you hit me with this 35. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Where was this 4 months ago? We were talking about it then. So that's all, you know. And I want to be straight with you. And then this is the thing. And I didn't have this conversation earlier. I know I've been in here a few times since then. But I'm just the kind of person where I want to make sure that I'm not angry when I come at it. Angry, yeah. And I want to make sure I have the right approach, because it's not my intent to attack you or to accuse you or anything. And I don't feel like you're trying to do anything that hurts me. I mean, I can't blame you for trying to force me to be healthier in this process. I can't be mad at that, right? But what I can be mad at is the expectations changing unexpectedly. And that's driving me nuts. So that's I just want to say my piece on that.
And that's really fair on your part to let me know, because I cannot read your mind. So I'm very happy that you're bringing that up. So that's good. What else?
I think that's it.
I really prefer patients that do what you're doing. Write down their questions so that interaction is more efficient. Rather than just saying, oh, I forgot to ask the doctor something.
Yeah, because I meant to ask you about PGS testing before. And that was the question that slipped my mind. And I was just like, okay, next time I talk to him, I want to talk to him about that. But okay. Because I know we hadn't discussed it at all.
Right.
All right. I think I'm well overlaid for a meeting or something, but they'll live. All right, that's all I had.
Okay, good. But I think bottom line, we're going the right direction here, and I'm glad to see that. So we just gotta keep on moving.
So if I come in here on the 11th,
yeah, let's see what it is.
And my weight is just under. It'll probably be just under if it is. What's the thought then? For May retrieval. I mean, I don't know. What does this calendar look like? What is the deadline for me to hit that and still make May?
The 11th is okay, because we're going to be using the antagonist. So we can reevaluate everything on the 11th.
Okay, when I come in for the pap smear. Okay. Oh gosh, I have a trip up north between now and then.
When?
Like the 4th of April. I mean, I'll be back. I come back on the 9th.
What we could do is maybe, because we're targeting the May retrieval.
Yeah, because we were looking at first week of May, because there's still a chance that I might travel, although I think it's not going to happen. That May 3rd, 4th travel to New York. I think it's not going to happen, but I'm getting mixed stories about whether it'll happen or not. But I'm thinking it won't. But I do still have to travel the week of the 16th. I got to go to Chicago that week.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a vote of my confidence. Let's start you on the low dose birth control pill. I don't even remember, but birth control pills have 4 rows of pills. The
And
last row is the placebo.
The placebo, so that's the one I don't take.
Right, just take active pills. So I'm going to write for 2 packages, just in case you need it. And you can start that. You should start today.
Well, today.
It's been only about 4 or 5 days since your first every period.
What's today? Saturday?
Today is Thursday.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's day 6.
Try to get a hold of these today. And start it today. I would prefer that you take it at night time.
At night, okay.
That way you shouldn't feel any side effects. Alright, my dear?
I'm not.
All right, sweetie. So keep up with the good work. Doing whatever you're doing is fine. And I think definitely they should maybe increase the
I think the
alpha
methyl needs to go up, yeah.
Maybe two.
It was looking good for a while, like where like one day I had it was like 125 over 87. And I'm like, oh yeah, that looks good. And then I don't know, I haven't seen it that
See,
since. So I don't know what's
we
going
use, when I was doing obstetrics, that's what we look for patients that were pregnant and high blood pressure. But I was able to go up to 4 tablets twice a day. I mean, that's a huge dose.
No, so I
Not
know.
that much.
I know some people are taking it 3 times a day or whatever, but I think
Maybe at least
it's
twice,
pretty low.
I think.
Yeah, probably twice a day.
All right.
Yeah.
Always a pleasure to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay in touch.
Sorry, I gotta. Sometimes I just gotta get my piece out.
No, it's fine.
Okay, so if I edited this video right, you guys would have just heard the conversation that I had with my RE. I am now leaving the RE's office. So, I dug in his behind, but I wasn't like angry digging. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to let him know that there are concerns and that it's not tolerable. And I also wanted to give him a chance to explain himself. Now, he's explained that they didn't have the letter. He got it maybe a couple of days after, but he still didn't look. Didn't give me a good excuse as to why he didn't look. But but as you can see, he walked in. He said he was very proud of me. I lost 8 pounds since the last time I was in his office. My BMI looks good. So I'm proud because the scale today, my own scale, before my workout was 244.6, which is my lowest recorded weight ever on all of my apps, right? Obviously I've been lower, but since I've been trying to get my weight back down. So 244.6 is my lowest for some very many years. 244.6. So I got on the treadmill this morning. I always drop about a pound after being on the treadmill. So I got on my scale again. I never record that weight, but I got on the scale again, and that weight was 243.6. And then I refused to eat or drink anything until I got on the doctor's scale, and his scale had me weigh in even with my dress, which is, it's a maxi dress, but it's a lightweight, and I take my shoes off. And I weighed in on his scale at 243 even. So proud of myself, and I'm going to go home and stick to my diet with my breakfast and all of that. So, this appointment was supposed to be at 8. He didn't see me until well after 9 o'clock. His systems are down. They're having to do everything manually, so everything is like super duper slow. But it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm totally missing a meeting right now, but that's okay. But at any rate, I don't know if I probably won't put the whole conversation with him, only because it was a 45 minute conversation with him. I will probably just put snippets, because we talked about like my protocol and all of that, what he plans to use. But at the end of it, this appointment was to see if I could move forward with a May retrieval. And he walked in and he said that he wanted my BMI under 40 before he started the birth control. However, after all my conversations, what do I have here? A script for birth control. He said he's giving me a vote of confidence here. So he knows that, I am concerned about the same things that he's concerned about. My my blood sugars, my blood pressure, and I am actively working on them with my primary care physician. He's fighting me a bit on the metformin. He doesn't really believe in all the homeopathic, herbal, all that great stuff. He doesn't really believe in any of that. And that's fine. I don't need him to. I believe in it, and if it's working for my body, then it's working for my body. So I just need him to understand that we're working towards the same goal. And this is kind of what I was explaining in the previous video about MDs versus DOs, where MDs, they just love to write scripts, you know, and DOs, you know, are more about what's going on in your entire body and are more open to the homeopathic stuff. And this is why I just like to deal with DOs more than I like to deal with MDs. And the fact of the matter is, he's an MD. So what he knows are the prescriptions, you know? And if he had the training and all the other homeopathic things that can affect my body the same way, he might be more open to it. And I just think that, listen, we're working towards the same goal. I'm going to do what I need to do to get it done. But give me a chance here. I'm not looking to get pregnant right away, right after a retrieval. Like, I'm not looking to do that. I want to do the PGS testing. Yes, it's going to cost me a hell of a lot of money, but this IVF is not costing me as much. So I think that's an expense I'm willing to incur. And you know, he answered some other questions and stuff like that, but the good news here is this is a win. This right here is a win. He is starting my protocol. He's not ordering all my other medicines. You know, I do have another appointment to get in there. I really wish my cycle did not start 5 days earlier, because if I had an extra 5 days, I would have been a lot closer. I feel like I would be a lot closer to the BMI under 40. And like I've been saying, that's been my own personal goal. And, you know, I really just didn't want to do a retrieval unless I was under that. And so that's just my own personal feeling on it. Now, he was the one pushing for 35. You know, it is what it is. The fact of the matter is, a retrieval's not going to happen until May. I have the entire month of April. You know, not saying I'm about to slack up on my diet or whatever, but the fact of the matter is, I really have been working on my weight, and it has been up and down and pretty stagnant. But as hard as I've been working, I should have been losing more, and I wasn't. And I think that insulin resistance is what was keeping me from losing that weight. And now I'm taking my nice supplement that the acupuncturist is giving me, that I explained in my last video. And the weight is like falling off, you know. He said I was 251 the last time I was in him. Just Monday I was 252. Okay, just Monday I was 252. So I have lost 7 pounds or so. You know, I'm not counting the 243 only because that was like after the workout for this morning. But I've lost 8 pounds in 3 days. In 3 days, I've lost 8 pounds. So I think the supplement mixed with my diet, probably mixed with my fasting, has helped to aid in getting that weight off. And I plan to keep up with this. So I don't want to feel like I was trying to be good because I knew I was going to be going in and getting on the scale with him. And I mean, granted, that is a motivation to not eat bad things. But, you know, like I said in my last video, it was time to shit or get off the pot. So I really, regardless of how miserable I may be, I really need to maintain some focus on this if I really want to get this done this month. Now, I've been waffling on whether I wanted to go through with this retrieval this month or just wait until his next cycle, which would be in 2 months. But in reality, I want to do the PGS testing, and that is just going to delay transfer. And so if I'm going to do PGS testing anyway, let's just get the retrieval out of the way. And then, you know, while the PGS testing is being done, I can continue to work on my weight, and you know, do what I need to do. So I am going to fill this here script for this here birth control and start taking it tonight. He said it was a vote of confidence, so that's major, you know, from him. He thinks I can really keep up with this weight loss, and that's really just what I wanted to show him. And this is why I'm like so sad that I didn't have that extra 5 days, because I know I would have been a lot closer to the goal. But we do have some time, and we have about just short of 2 weeks for me to come in again. So hopefully, if I can drop, I'm literally at 244. I am 9 pounds away from having my BMI under 40. And to have my BMI under 40, I need to weigh 236 pounds. Now I am 244.6 pounds as of this morning. That's the official weight. If I can hit, so that means I am 8 pounds, roughly 8.6 pounds away from that goal. And if I can lose, you know, 3 to 4 pounds a week for the next 2 weeks, I'll be right there. And he can't deny me, you know? So what I do hope is that this low dose birth control pill doesn't stall my weight loss. But yeah, I am hoping that this is the start of my IVF journey, guys. I mean, my journey started so many cycles ago, but I think this is the start of it. This is the start of it, and I just have to remain focused on my diet. And you know, this is what I mean. Like, I know, and I do thank you ladies. I do thank you ladies. I mean, you're my village, you know, as Simply Tanika likes to say, you know, this is her village. You guys are my village, and I am so glad that you folks are so, you know, ready to slay the beast, you know, when I felt like he lied to me and just really did me wrong. And the thing about it is, I'm not so quick to anger anymore. I've worked many years to not be really quick to anger, so I really wanted to make sure that I got my points across, that I gave him a chance to explain himself, and, you know, really instill some confidence in me, because the reality is he has been my doctor for a very long time. Nobody knows my uterus better than he does. He has literally held it in his hands. He's done my surgeries, on my biopsies, on my hysteroscopies, and all of that. So, you know, getting a new doctor at this point would just be incredibly stressful for me, and I just really needed him to see it my way. And he sees it my way, and that's the one thing I wanted you guys to understand, is that, you know, it's really easy to say, oh, forget him, I'm just going to go see another doctor. But in reality, when I talk to him, he listens, you know. And I didn't want to come at him, you know, in a mean, disgruntled way, like I'm not getting what I want, so you're not doing what I need you to do. I didn't want to come across that way. I just wanted to come across like, listen, this is how I perceived what happened, and I need you to tell me your side, because this is how I'm feeling about it, and I'm just really not liking it, you know. And you know, he takes my feedback. Hang on a second while I get the script filled. Okay, so got my script filled. So yeah, so I mean, as you can see, this is why I'm not like so quick to just ditch him, because there are so many doctors that are just set in their ways, and they're like, my way or the highway. And you know, he allows me to give my opinion and give my feedback and just say, listen, my feedback on this process in general is that you know, your expectations on BMI and sugar, on blood pressure, all that stuff was not set ahead of time, you know. And so now it just seems like we've been waffling, and it's just been really frustrating for me. And, you know, he's understanding of that, and, you know, and he's working with me, and, you know, the proof is in the pudding. He gave me a vote of confidence, and he wrote me the script for the birth control, which he said he didn't want to do until my BMI was like under 40. But again, I am only 8 pounds away from that, you know, and that's something that I quite literally could do in the next 2 weeks, you know. So, you know, I want to continue to, you know, make him proud on the weight thing, and I want to continue to make myself proud on the weight thing. You know, I've been struggling so much, and I'm starting to get a little emotional. I've been struggling so much with the weight thing, and just feeling like it just hasn't been working, like as hard as I've been working and working out. And it's just like, it's just one thing after another. My blood pressure not working with me. My sugar's not working with me. Like, what is wrong with my body that I can't lose this weight, you know? Because my eating habits are so much better than they've been over the past year, you know. And I've just been working so hard on this journey, and I know that IVF is my next step, considering everything that I have going on. And I know this is kind of like my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, you know what I mean? And while I'm not trying to rush this process, and I want to be completely healthy, you know, I want the hard part out of the way, and that is, let's get my eggs while they're young. You know, I joke that they're shriveling up by the moment, you know, and he's like, oh, you know, your numbers, and you're still young, and this is that and the other. But I mean, I joke, but it's not a joke, you know. There are a lot of women that go into this process with great numbers, and just a year later they get their numbers taken again, and they're not so great, you know. I mean, you just never know when you fall off the cliff. You never know. And I don't want to fall off the cliff here. You know, I want to get healthy. And like I said, I don't feel like he was trying to do anything that would hurt me. I think he was, in essence, just forcing me to be healthier in this process. And I can't be mad at that. But what I can be mad at is the waffling. You know, if you want me to hit a certain guideline and you don't want to work until I'm at that guideline, then tell me that up front so I can make some decisions then. I'm either going to decide to get to your guideline, or I'm going to decide to go somewhere else. You know, that's my choice. But when you waffle, you start to take that choice away from me, and it pisses me off. You know, we're supposed to be partners in this. You don't get to change your mind and waffle and whatever. Like, your guideline is your guideline. Like, I need you to set a guideline and stick to that. And let's work towards that and keep it moving. If I don't hit your guideline, then I don't hit your guideline. I have nobody to blame but myself. But at least I knew what the guideline was, you know. And maybe this is just something as simple as writing up a piece of paper that you give to your patients when they start this process, what your expectations are, so that there is no surprises in this. You know, what are your expectations for IUI? What are your expectations for IVF? You know, he obviously had no issues with putting me on medicated IUIs with a higher BMI. You know, but now we're talking about IVF, and all of a sudden my BMI is a problem. You know, and it's like, if the issue, oh gosh, these people are still here. It's hours later. There was an accident right outside my subdivision, and all these crash cars are like sitting out here. They moved them all off the street. So anyway, yeah, so, you know, it's just, I'm happy now. I feel like I'm moving forward, and the anxiety of not being able to move forward because my weight wasn't down enough has released from me, you know. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I've been doing this week, you know. So, all right, ladies, I've talked enough. And well, I guess it's only been 20 minutes, but that makes this for a very long video if I include all the doctor stuff. So it's been a pleasure. I will see you in the next video and let you know how things go. My next video on this journey will probably be the day of the pap smear to kind of check in on my weight and see what my weight is. So that's gonna be about 2 weeks from now. So what you can expect is some more dating while TTC videos in the meantime. But until then, hopefully I can feel better. I'm finally starting to feel better off of my cold here. I still got a little bit of congestion in the chest and stuff. But yeah, this is where we are. It looks like we're moving. I mean, I am aiming now, and I know I have been waffling, but I am aiming now, if I can, for a May retrieval so that I can have May, June on the PGS testing and maybe do a transfer in July. And in that time, get my blood pressure under control, get my A1C under control, and get my weight down, hopefully as much as I can before going in for a transfer. And maybe, just maybe, he might want to do 2 embryos, and with the PGS testing I could put 1 boy and 1 girl. Oh, I'm waffling on that too, ladies. I'm waffling on that too. You know, I just feel like you know, if my sugars are going to be a problem, then I really don't want to put 2 embryos in. You know, if I can't get them under control in the next couple of months. But I am really confident that I can make this happen. So the fact that he wrote that script for the birth control tells me that he knows we're working towards the same goal. And I'm not trying to be a non-compliant patient. I am trying to do what's necessary because I want to be here for my babies as well. So here we go. All right, ladies, always a pleasure. Sticky baby dust to all those TCC. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I know I'm incredibly late with this, with the fact that this is posting, but thank you for my new subscribers. I've gotten over 200 now, so I kind of feel a little important. also great news. I had an article on myfword.org about my dating while TTC that has posted, so check me out on myfword.org and check out my post there. And it's a nice little prelude to some of the dating while TTC videos that are going to be coming up in the next 2 weeks. So if you haven't checked that out, please do check that out. Thumbs up on this video if all the information, especially the questions that I asked and regarding like my protocol, what he plans to use. I will do another video explaining what the antagonist protocol are, what the other protocols are, and what that means for me and my medicines as I go through this IVF journey. So I am totally excited now and hope to be stimming this month. So yeah, all right, ladies, check you in the next video. Bye.